What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another third-party review, and today we're taking a look at the Maketoys MTRM-05, that's Remastered 5, Wrestle, otherwise known as Grapple, or if you're from Hasbro, Grapple. And yeah, it's Grapple, as you can see, and he's just a retool, a little bit of a retool of their Hellfire. And one thing I want to point out here, this guy does not clean up nearly as nicely to me as Inferno does. Like, everything on Inferno fits really nice. On Grapple, everything just kind of, it gets there, but then things pop apart, and I feel like I'm constantly fighting things on Grapple that I'm not fighting on Inferno. So if I got this first, I actually might have been a little more disappointed with them, just because of the alt mode being really fiddly. It just doesn't happen with Inferno for comparison. Now, there is more than just the crane that is remolded from the fire ladder. The crane does extend out, only one section though, not like the ladder, and the actual hook does articulate. Again, no side-to-side movement on there. But you can see you do have some remolded panels, at least down here, where you have the hoses versus you know, just like storage compartments, or, you know, access, I guess, to like the hydraulic lines or something like that. Other than that, it's pretty dead on the same, with the exception of the headpiece being remolded, so there's none of these little fins pegged on the back, which honestly kind of makes Grapple look a little bit naked in the back, and I can't help but wonder if that helps secure things a little bit better. Yeah, you can see the gaps here that aren't present on this guy, and no matter what I do, I'll push them together and I'll peg them together, and they'll just over time work themselves apart again. Not disappointed with it, just this is made me a lot happier than that did. So I also did not black out his windows yet. Now Inferno's windows were transparent, like completely transparent. These at least are a little bit smoke to hide things, but I just wanted to show you how ridiculous it looks. Like the part that you would sit on the seat is right in the windshield here. Yeah, and I know some people don't really like to paint the windows or cover the windows, especially if there's seats inside, and I feel ya, but here is an MP character, and there is no way you are fitting them on the seats there. I mean, really, your only option to fit them inside is to take the head out and go ahead and just lie them in there. So for my sensibilities, I would rather this have all been blacked out. I would have rathered all this glass have been blacked out, because it would have hidden the robot mode, and this is really just, it's an unnecessary detail to me. And I know you may feel different, but whatever, it's my toy, and eventually, if you ever see it again, it's going to be blacked out. So yeah, there's that. We're only going to take this guy to robot mode. If you want to see how to go back, check out Inferno's review. That was like a week ago. Before we go on, I do want to note in my box, as a cardboard box for Wrestle, because he came in 2 boxes, were extra hound heads, which I find interesting because I don't own that hound. Yeah, I understand that it's like a bonus thing, but I don't understand why that bonus piece didn't come with Hellfire, who's the mass release versus the Maketoys exclusive, but whatever, that's neither here nor there, I guess. And then we also have these heads. And I did take the stock head off, and I will change out a couple of the faces just to show you. It's a relatively easy thing. You barely have to do anything to do it. But for the most part, I don't find any of these heads that good looking. So let's get this guy transformed. We'll take his gun off right here. We'll open these panels on the side just like that. And pretty much everything starts wanting to come undone as I do that. Flip these wheels up. And we'll unplug these side ones. These side little tabs really tab in well on Grapple, and they don't tab that strong on Inferno, but nothing else does, you know? So we'll rotate this waist on down. We'll rotate these legs down. I always forget about these, so let's do them right now. We'll flip them up on each side here. Split the legs, bring this panel around and up, and pull this little inner panel out and slide that together. That'll help hold it together. Easy to miss that piece, but you can see the difference popped up here, recessed there. So once again, open that, slide this around, close it back up, bring the ankle all the way up like this, fold this piece on around and in, and then I like to give this a good ratchet over there. That's just personally how I like it. So we'll do that again for this side. Close it up like so, bring it on over, and there we go, we've got his legs done. Let's come up to the top here, get these, bring them over to the side just like so. We can also flip these wheels back down now. Close up these little pieces that always get in the way. We'll go ahead and fold the arm down like this and around, flipping this up. This is grapple, so we'll go ahead and open this one, flip out his hand, and this one we'll just do the same thing over here. Flip this down, flip this up, take these little pieces off, plug them on in just like so, and we'll attach that to his hand like so. We can take his little like spinal piece, kind of bring it on up and plug it in right here, and then bring this right down like that. You can fold this up if you want, it doesn't really matter. And I unplugged this panel here, so we'll fix that. So you got him 3/4 done. Just take that, flip his head out, and close it up. I guess that's more than 3/4, right? That was like way done. And he's done. Now we have his gun here, and I misspoke when I did the Hellfire review. He actually has a little track in the back of his hand here that I'd never really noticed, and the gun has, and it's hard to see, like a little slot there. When you put it all the way back, he actually holds it amazingly well. It does pretty much twist and fall out, but it's actually a lot more secure than your average MP gun connection, but it can be a little bit difficult to make it all line up there. But once it's in, he holds that gun like a champ. So my apologies on the Inferno, who I did misspeak. Now it would have been nice if they gave this a silver, because it's identical to Inferno's gun there. So obviously in his robot mode, his articulation is all the same as Inferno. The head is on a ball joint, a little bit limited because of the sculpt. You do get a 360 on each arm, and the inward motion, and if you want to move this white thing out, like pretty extreme how you can go, and I don't think that looks terrible like that when you bring the little white piece on in. So that's nice. You do have a waist rotation here. It doesn't really go 360, but it's pretty much all you need. Remember, hip skirts are joined together for one of them. When you come down to the legs here, you can move the wheels out of the way and get a nice split there. Great forward motion, great backwards motion, no complaints there. Excellent knees here. These little panels do like to open, but you have the knee, and then you do have a much more difficult to maneuver ratchet right here to get a pretty good range of motion out of the knee. More than I'll probably end up using, but yeah, it's there. And then coming down to the ankle, it is ball jointed down here and on a swivel on the inside, so plenty of range of motion there. And I do want to say that going along with the things not fitting together well, everything here has been much more loose than on Hellfire. I actually did have to coat the ball joints of this in a future floor polish just so the feet didn't wobble around so much. So he's definitely a bit more loose than Hellfire, and I'm not really sure why. Maybe it has something to do with the density of like the yellow plastic versus the red. But it's just something to be aware of, especially if you get this guy and maybe you're not quite, like he's there, but he maybe was a little too loose or something for you. At least in my case, Hellfire was definitely better. So let's bring Hellfire in. I think his is on the right and his is on the left. I know they're opposite, that's all I really know. Nice remold of the head there. Everything else pretty much looks the same with the exception of the panel that's covered up now, I just realized. So that's, yeah, everything's the same except for the heads there. But that's nice. I think they did a good job here, and it definitely looks like the character. So I said I would talk about the faces, and I didn't talk about them on Hellfire here. So if you want to see size comparisons, go ahead and look at Hellfire. If you want to see the faces, we'll look here. So as you can see, I just popped his head off. I don't have to unscrew anything. I just pull his head down, and the face comes out. And I said in this review, I don't quite understand how they're held in. Largely, I still don't understand. I think that it's just kind of squishing this piece of material between that, but I can just pull his face out and, you know, we can put in the little smiling face here, if that's your thing. Let's see, we've got the sneering face, just like that. Again, I largely don't think that any of these faces are better than either his stock one, which this is it right here. I don't like that. I like the shinier face, and I like the pattern on the sides of the face a little better. So that's why I put the other one in. But here we go. We got the, I guess, grimacing face. And finally, we've got the smiling face. So they all hold well. It's kind of some kind of voodoo magic that even that I'm not too terribly aware of. Again, I think it's just friction fit in there. But they are very easy to pop in and out. So if you get tired of one, you can change it at will. So yeah, this has been Hellfire. Well, this is Hellfire, this is Wrestle. I really like them. I think they're good. I do not regret picking them both up. Not getting one from one company and one from another. I will be blacking this out because I don't like it. But yeah, I'm happy with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you next time.